Hello dear listeners, TW here. Join me as I traverse a century of horror cinema, one flick at a time. Sermon on the Mount, shots of a surviving church praying for a miracle. In McCarthy-era Hollywood, studios are collapsing, anti-communist and pro-Christian sentiment paved a way for a new wave of propaganda. Here marks the first film adaptation of The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells, although famously there was a radio series narrated by Orson Welles. The film follows the original tale of Wells for the most part. Aliens invade, how do we humans stop them? Where the novel was, as was common for the day, a found diary retrospective after the initial invasion, the film shows first contact and the ensuing chaos. The horror of watching the disintegration of a few locals and the chase of our main cast, Gene Barre and Anne Robinson, are the most tense. But the spectacle is in the destruction of the useless defense forces, obliterated by these invaders, with a combination of wires, matte paintings and models. The somewhat anticlimactic ending of the aliens dying of disease remains intact, but the heroes praying in a church, when it happened, smacks of courting the conservative crowd that was a big box office draw at the time. Considered one of the greatest science fiction pictures of the era, it was only moderately successful in its first run. An X rating by the British that did so to any horror picture hurt these results somewhat. The film sits at a comfortable PG rating today. The massive expenditure on special effects was what drew crowds, but over half the budget was exhausted on these visuals, which made a quick profit return challenging. Do the effects hold up? Naturally today they are a bit hokey, but are serviceable and enjoyable. They certainly justified their Oscar in 1954 and set a new standard not surpassed in science fiction arguably for more than a decade. Apparently the degradation of the film stock made the effects appear worse over time. The new 4K restoration has returned them to their original strength. It's definitely the version to see. While scary in its day and well respected as a blockbuster, The War of the Worlds is an odd duck. Rarely do horror films get such a wide release and positive regard. The fascination with visual effects in science fiction are no doubt what drove this. Modern film equivalents are not really comparable, but Independence Day from the 1990s is an obvious spiritual successor. The biggest issue with the film is the aforementioned preaching, the religious undertones that become overtones by the finale. The romance is also tepid and poorly played by Anne Robinson, although she was given nothing to work with. Despite these detractions, the film stands out as an all-time classic, and while conventional horror fans will get only a moderate thrill, those interested in science fiction and spectacle have plenty to embrace. Enjoy.